Bros on Nuggs, live with you again. Episode 15. It's the NCAA tournament. We also won tonight on a comeback against Chicago. Chi-Town got nothing on us. Come on, Chi-Town. You come down to Denver / Colorado Springs / Fort Collins. You come down to the Front Range and see what happens if you guys can handle the Front Range, because you can't. Just a bunch of people from Chicago, which is a beautiful city. But I will say one thing about Chicago. Wrigley Field, overrated. Get out of here, Wrigley. You're the ugliest old field that I've ever seen. I will go to Fenway all day, every day. But Wrigley, from the outside, once you get inside, you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is really cool. I feel it. But man, from the outside, Wrigley's a piece of junk. And we have dominated now the Chicago Bulls after decades of Michael Jordan, which kind of speaks to where we are as a franchise, my friends, Bros on Nuggs. We like to hate on how difficult it's been to be a Nuggets fan. But, dude, let's be real. There were some tough years in the late 90s, but, I mean, overall, our franchise has been awesome. Do we have championships?
Yeah.
No.
Compared to other Denver sports teams.
Right? I mean, we've been pretty consistently at least playoffs minus the mid to late 90s, which was a rough stretch. But if you take away that stretch, that like 7-8 year stretch, the Denver Nuggets are awesome. And the Chicago Bulls without Michael Jordan have been trash, and we've dominated them. So take that, Bulls. Am I right?
Oh, man.
I would say you're right. Yeah, we've dominated since we got Jordan.
9-0. We've been 9-0 against
what was
the
the
Bulls.
home record? Was the home record like 15-0?
And the overtime record was 8-0.
Yeah, dude, just crushing the Bulls.
Beat the Bulls 15 times straight at home, right? Or was it 13?
13, Tim. That's the number. And I was listening to Saba, a Chicago rapper, on the way to meeting up with my brother earlier today. And it made me think, we're going to beat the Bulls, man. We're going to beat the Bulls. And we did. That's what we do. That's how we roll. Will, do you get a spring break?
No, I don't get a spring break. I'm not a teacher like you. I'm glad you're going to be enjoying your spring break going to Oregon. Excited for you.
Spring break, fully vaccinated, me and my wifey, all of our parents. If only these darn variants don't hurt anybody in terms of vaccinations, we'll be fine. So we'll see. Of course, I'll be wearing masks. I'll be taking care of myself as I always do, but pretty pumped up to go somewhere beyond the border, beyond El Paso to Teller County border.
Yeah, on the 80909.
It's been a year, homie. It's been a year. So I'm excited about that. Spring break 2021. Shall we reminisce on our best spring breaks ever as college students? Because I don't have any. I didn't have any fun in spring break as a college student.
You call bullshit. Will and I honestly came back to Woodland Park a lot. I did one year. I went with our buddy Ryan. We had a friend named Ryan and Ryan. Spelled it R-Y-O-N. I went with him down to his hometown of Nuggs, Arizona.
It's Nogales, Tim?
You went to Nogi.
We went there, and we had some good times. And then my buddy Jonas showed up, and we made a bunch of I now appreciate scotch. At the time, I did not, but we made scotch Jello shots.
Gross.
And
Gross.
yes, they were terrible. It was me, Jonas, Ryan, and someone else. And I don't remember who Jonas was with, but the person Jonas was with and Ryan did not care for him. So obviously Jonas and I did all the Jello shots, and then we walked across to the Mexican border. And you're there. You're like, oh, look, I could buy pills. I could buy knockoff Oakleys. I can do this. I can do that. Next thing I know, we're following Ryan to a strip club, and we started crossing train tracks. And I look at Jonas, and I was like, it might be go time, man. I was like, you don't cross the train tracks. Like, bad things happen when you cross train tracks. So Jonas and I were on high alert. Long story short, my buddy Ryan tried to marry one of the strippers. It didn't
Ryan
work out.
or Ryan?
Ryan.
Not Ryan Davis.
No. Ryan. It didn't work out for him. And so eventually we walked back across the border. And when they asked me, where are you from? This is before you needed a passport, I guess. You just had to show your state ID. Mm-hmm. They go, where are you from? I was good and drunk. I said, America. And the person was not amused. So that's my one, I didn't go home for spring break story.
That's cool, man. Hey, look who is showing up on Bros on Nuggs. Adam Stratton. Yeah.
Got nothing better to do on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday night.
He must be married with children.
Mm-hmm. Like all of us.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, Adam, for joining us tonight. You be you and speak your truth as we talk Nuggets here.
Hey, Tim, didn't we go to Sewanee on spring break?
Oh God,
we were not in high school. We were not in college. We were in high school.
Well, we were in high school.
We were sophomores. We were sophomores in high school and went to Sewanee for spring break. And
that's my spring break story. We don't need to get into details.
That's when I decided I wanted to go to college. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to go to college. And then I went there for spring break, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm going to college.
Do you think that's why Mom sent you out? She was like, Tim's thinking about not going to college. Let's send him to hang out with Dave for a weekend.
I don't know. I had expressed to the parents that I was like, school's not my thing. I don't want to, I had said at some point, I don't want to go to college. Next thing I know, I'm on a plane with Will to Sewanee. So maybe it was like they were thinking Dave will show them a classy time and be good with them. I mean, I love our parents, especially Mom, but she's a little naive.
Yeah, or brilliant, one of the two,
or both.
Adam, I never went on a senior trip, but you guys got to go all the time. And just if we're talking about love and Adam Stratton being with us here tonight, can I just say lunches with you in high school were the best lunches. And I know there's been hardships in your family, but man, that was true, just true love, man, going to your house at lunchtime. And I'll never forget also WCW wrestling on N64, because that was also amazing. I'm so pumped that Adam Stratton's in the house. Make sure you stay engaged, dude, if you want to. What a win, dude. What a win. Can you believe it? Okay, for real. Third quarter, honestly, probably with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I was like, this game, we're not going to win. It's not going to happen. But the brilliance of Jokic and Murray once again arise. You forget in the NBA, yes, Adam, the tacos were amazing. You forget in the NBA how important it is to have two dudes that can do something. That's all. It's nice to have a big three, but down in the clutch situation, if you can run pick and roll with a point guard who's vicious and a big, you can score from basically anywhere. You are tough to beat. And did they almost give me a heart attack? Maybe. I'm trying not to pretend that I have AFib, but in the end, those two dudes showed up when they needed to, and I love that about our guys. What'd you guys think of the game tonight? Let's start with Willie.
Oh man, that first quarter, I felt like we were sleepwalking. Thought that we could just show up and win the game, and Jokic only had like 4 points. I know Murray only had 3 points in the first half, and some typical of these games that we lose, we don't defend the 3-point line, and I was like, and it's not like the Bulls are a great 3-point shooting team, so I was like, it's just one of those nights. It's not going to be our night. The Bulls are knocking down threes. We're not defending well. We're not communicating. We're kind of sleepwalking, and we aren't making shots. Like Barton, who played a decent game, was 1 for 6 from the 3-point line, and he's been playing great lately. And I was like, man, it just didn't look good in the first quarter, and until like the last, like that run before the last 2 minutes when Facu had some huge defensive plays. Man, Facu, that steal on Levine was huge, and then Murray. Like I was gonna text you guys. I was like, "Where's Murray at?" He just since the All-Star break. I know he had a good game against Charlotte, and then he just drops 30 out of nowhere, man, and just goes off. And thank God, because I was like, "Where's Jokic and Murray? If they're not going to play well tonight, we're going to get smoked." And man, that step, like that 3, as Jokic, pushes in the lane and makes Thaddeus Young dive when he shouldn't have to create that open shot for Murray was just a thing of beauty, man. And then Murray pump fakes, sidestep threes to go to overtime. I was pumped.
Yeah, if you listen to the interview afterwards where not Marlowe, the dude from Notre Dame.
Lombardi?
The dude who had cancer, the
Vic Lombardi.
Yeah, Lombardi. So Lombardi asked him, like, what do your teammates think at this point? Like, should we expect you to make this shot? And Murray literally laughed at him. He was like, "You don't know me, man. Like I wait for these moments." That's what he said. He's like, "I try to get my teammates involved the first 3 quarters, and I'll wait for these moments." And that's a kind of cocky thing to say, but it's also what you want your point guard to say, your franchise point guard, after a game. Total confidence Jamal Murray has, and Jokic also. I thought he was going to take it himself, and he unselfishly, because he could have gone for 2, he unselfishly dished it out. Jamal Murray makes a great pump fake, ball fake, and sidestep, as you mentioned, for the open 3, which I was like, how much time's left? Oh, 0.4 seconds. Nailed it. What a badass, dude. What a badass. Timmy, your thoughts on the game? Initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts. So we came out the gate and Murray hit that 3, and I got really excited. I got pumped up. I was like, "Hell yeah, Murray's here. Murray's ready to play." But obviously, he trickled off in that first half. I got really frustrated. Obviously, as I would, as any Nuggets fan does, is we get frustrated when we're not playing well. The first half. Fuck it, it's over. I was like, this is not good. The Bulls, like, not only were we not playing well, the Bulls were shooting ridiculous. Like Will said, they're not a great 3-point shooting team, but they had 8 3-pointers in the first half. Like, they were making shots, and they continued to make shots until like that fourth quarter where we finally locked down and obviously into overtime. Third quarter, I made a note of, is Jokic finally getting calls? Because there was kind of like a ticky-tack call that he got. And then maybe five like literal minutes, not basketball minutes later, there was another point where I was like, nope, Jokic is not getting calls. So, I kind of felt – and what was really cool was seeing – I got really mad. I'm obviously Facebook groups. I'm in a Nuggets Nation's Facebook group that I left tonight because people were just dogging Murray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys, this is a negative group. We're supposed to be positive together. We're supposed to come together as like fans and be like, we've got this. And to see him come out and play the way he did and make that game-tying shot to send us to overtime was a beautiful thing. And fuck you. I love you, man. Like, I love that guy. Like, I get it. He's not he's not a scoring threat. That dude can assist. That dude heckles on defense. He gets clutch steals. He assists the hell out of the basketball. That dude is freaking awesome to watch. He's a pest. He's a pest. I'm sorry. If I was any other fan, I would hate that man just because of how scrappy he is. And it's awesome to watch. That steal, like Will mentioned, was huge. It was huge. That's when I wrote Faku, I love you.
Yeah.
You know
in
what
my
makes it
notes.
better is when you say Faku, I love you in your my baby's asleep voice. Because you really got a 90s R&B vibe going on.
I'm sorry. She's asleep. I've been told to be quiet. I did think early that Coach Donovan, Billy Donovan, he was doing a good job of calling timeouts when we went on runs early on, and that was kind of hurting us. But like as the game went on, he was running out of timeouts, so he couldn't call those timeouts anymore. And the last timeout he called in the fourth quarter, when I was starting to when I was thinking about it, I was like, all his timeouts have led to our runs ending. He called that timeout. We came out of his timeout and just kept balling. And at that point in time, I was like, at that point in time, I was like, we're going to win this in regulation. But obviously, it went to overtime. Very, very exciting game. Very exciting game. And hell yeah, Jokic and Murray, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah is right, man. Hell yeah is right. What a big freaking win, man. What a big I don't want to hide that. Sorry, Jeremy. How dare I? All right. MPJ tonight was a little bit of love and a little bit of hate, right? MPJ's been playing so well, and I guess this is a thing with younger players that I have to get used to as a fan, I suppose. And that is that consistency is going to come and go with these types of players. MPJ, over the course of the last 3-4 weeks, including before the All-Star break and obviously after, has been playing really well. Tonight did not show. And again, I think his next level of progression is if I have a rough go offensively. By the way, he started jacking threes right off the bat and did not try to get to the rim. And when he got to the rim, it was off of cuts and he made wide open dunks, which is great. That's what he needs to do. And I know MPJ's point line is going to say different from what I'm talking about right now because MPJ probably scored, 15 points?
He scored 19 points.
19. Okay. So I know his point line is going to say differently. But a lot of those were off of easy dunks, easy put-ins, and maybe I think he shot really weak from the three tonight. But again, if you're MPJ, the thing he needs to learn in this game that Jamal Murray, it took him 3 years to learn. Nikola Jokic, it took him 3, maybe 4 years to learn, is that if you really want to be elite and you really want to be good, you have to actually help your team in other areas when you're not scoring. And MPJ is not quite there yet. And I was a little bit frustrated with some of his defensive decision-making tonight. And I don't want to hate on him because I've seen great strides, and you guys all know this. We've seen great strides from him the last 4 weeks or so. And he is scoring the basketball. But if you want to get to that next level, and ultimately, and here's where I'm a Nuggets fan, if you want to help the Nuggets win a freaking championship, there's no night off defensively. You don't get to be lazy with your feet. You don't get to allow cutters in front of your face. You don't get to forget to hedge hard on pick and rolls. You don't forget these things. And I felt he was lazy with his feet tonight, as were a lot of Nuggets. I shouldn't just point him out. There were a lot of Nuggets who were. But I was a little frustrated with MPJ tonight in terms of his effort. But ultimately didn't cost us. And like you guys mentioned, he scored 19 points. Do you guys have any rebuttals or agreements with what I just said?
Yeah, I would agree that But I think it was over the team overall on the defensive end. He was running into screens. He wasn't communicating well. He was taking possessions off defensively. I think that's definitely fair to say. I still feel like you're right in regards to taking nights off, but I mean he's the only one who was cutting. I mean, like he cut, and that's how he got those 19 points because he was only 1 for 5 from the 3-point line tonight. I mean, he missed a couple wide open threes. So did Barton. I think what you can compare and get mad at and frustrated was his effort rebounding, because usually he's been a double-double machine lately. He's been averaging 10 rebounds a game, and he only got like 5-6 rebounds tonight. So I hear you there. I don't know. I don't feel like he was a huge part of why we were playing bad early. I mean, I think, yeah, well, I don't know. I think that's pretty fair, Dave, because there were some pretty bad possessions defensively that led to some runs, and he was a significant part of that. But it's not just him. I think he's been playing great, and he's an X factor for the team.
Well, it was also Will Barton, and these are your fringe players. I mean, MPJ is obviously not a fringe
Millsap played not well offensively either, but that's offense, not defense.
Millsap played bad. Will Barton in 42 minutes of the game played awful, and then all of a sudden he was willing to try to get and ones and get to the rack and do his thing. Will Barton frustrates me right now. He seems to be in some weird limbo, you know? Like, are you gonna be great for us, or are you gonna be nothing for us? Tim, I want you to comment, but after that, I would like to talk the Gary Harris situation. Timmy, what do you think of MPJ tonight?
Obviously the previous 5 games, he was averaging 20 plus points. And like Will alluded to, he was averaging a double-double with 20 plus points. Offensively, he came out. He was not squaring up. He was taking a lot of dumb shots early. It was frustrating. Granted, he got 19 points, but I felt like this was the MPJ we were seeing early in the season, where he was about offense and not playing defense. Like, there were a couple times he let guys back cut on him and get layups/dunks. He didn't come out and play defense at all. And he has prided himself recently this past, he's like, I'm tired of people saying I don't play defense. And like, honestly, from the point he said that, his defense improved. But I really feel like, I don't know if it's because you're playing, an Eastern Conference team or what it is. I feel like he tried to take the night off defensively. He wasn't communicating. Like I said, he let people back cut on him. His back was like, when you should be in help, his back was to the ball and to everybody else. He was just looking at his defender and not being there for his teammates. Defensively, this was his worst game that we've seen in a while. And I find that frustrating because he's supposed to be our third player. Murray was struggling offensively and was playing his heart out on defense. Granted, he had his moments where he had some flaws, where he gave some easy buckets up, but at least Murray was struggling offensively and was trying defensively, whereas I felt in this game that MPJ was all about trying to get points. Like, he was so high on himself for, averaging 20 points over the last 5 games. He's like, oh, I'm unstoppable. I think he was concentrating more on the offensive end, and that's why you saw him chucking up these ridiculous threes, not squaring up, shooting deep threes, and not playing defense. I think he took a step back tonight. Granted, if he's going to take 5 steps forward and 1 step back, I'll take that. But this was a bad night to step back. These home games are huge. We need to win the rest of this home series to help us out with the Western Conference. And to take a night off on defense is to take a night off on your teammates, and that's rough. You need to come out. Every game from this point forth is a playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you say that from the beginning of the season, but I'll jump on that now that it's post All-Star game. Like every game's a playoff game. It's all about seeding. It's all about who you're going to play in the playoffs, and you can't take nights off. And I feel like you took a night off on defense, and there's a lot of people who did.
Yep.
We struggled, but you specifically asked about MPJ.
Yeah, well, what you want is that's the thing is you want MPJ to take that step to the next level. And he's so freaking close, He is so close. And then he has a night like tonight where he just didn't quite do it. And that'll happen with young players, and I get it. I just hope he learns from it. Like, hey, effort defensively. But we can't blame MPJ alone. Let's remember that Jokic was letting some easy shit go, especially at the end of the game. If you guys remember that sideline out of bounds play where they got a wide open layup in the fourth quarter towards the end of the game, and you're like, who's defending who here? Who's picking up what? Jokic was closest to the basket and just let a guy go right by him.
Yeah, that was Murray and Barnes' miscommunication when they let Kobe White sprint out by him.
Yeah, I get it, Will. I do get that. I get that that's the miscommunication. But who's the closest defender to the basket right there?
Well, Kobe White's going to out-sprint Jokic.
No, but who's the closest person to the basket right there?
Yeah, but he's still defending his man, and he's at half court.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it doesn't matter that when those guys don't switch that screen and Kobe White, it's like arena football when they get to run behind the they get the motion behind and you get a freaking running start. He's going to toast him.
It's also like Steve Atwater as a free safety with a wide open receiver sprinting into his area and doing nothing about it. Jokic did not move, man. He didn't do anything and then tried to react afterwards. He could have sagged further in. Why was he so concerned about his man at that point in time that he was not defending the basket? I'm just trying, if we're going to be crucial about MPJ defensively, I would like to take a moment to be crucial about Jokic there in that one moment.
Crucial or critical?
Crucially critical.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I hear you. You're right, though. He could be sagging more. I feel that was more like Barton and Murray not talking to each other, but I hear you.
Well, who's defending the bucket, man? Has this not been a
problem on the court, man?
Yeah, has this not been a problem all season long?
I hear you, boys. I hear you, boys.
Who's defending the bucket? Nobody. Yeah,
Colby was going to beat him in the bucket every time getting that running start.
Not if you're defending the bucket. Like, do you want your dude to shoot a three, or do you want Kobe Wise to shoot a three? Who do you want to have the ball there? That is a mental lapse by Jokic, and you can blame who you want. But we've all played basketball. You got to be between your man and the bucket. And I know it's not your man, but help your teammates out.
Yeah.
Jokic struggled.
Will's pissed.
He is. Jokic struggled early, man. Offensively, Jokic didn't score till he hit that three, man. He missed some inside shots. Like, Jokic struggled the start of this game. So the fact that he finished with 34, he put on his big boy britches and came out and played.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
He struggled early, man. Like it wasn't like we were just going after MPJ, but like it was a group effort struggle early on, and Jokic was a part of that, man. I think his first points was at 3 in the second quarter.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I mean that's the first bucket I remember him hitting. But he finished with 34. So like in the second half, he got his shit together. And I get what you're saying, Dave. Like, obviously you have your man, but your goal is to stop the people from getting to the fucking basket.
Right.
Like when you're playing defense.
Why is he almost at half court? She should be at the three-point line, right?
Like when you're growing up playing basketball on a fast break, your job is to stop ball. If you're a number 2 guy, what is your job? To drop back and protect the basket. So I get what you're saying, Dave. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That play just really frustrated me because it felt like a microcosm, and I love using that word microcosm. Mm-hmm. But it felt like that moment in the game where everything the Nuggets have been doing that was like absent-minded the whole time just kind of showed up right there. And Jokic is to blame, honestly, in a lot of ways for that. But I love Jokic, obviously. He is the MVP of the league. And if you don't think so, fight me. Fight Tim, fight Will. I don't think any of us think that he's not. And where's Joel Embiid been? I don't know.
He got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And here's a dude who's played the whole season, like hard as he can, right? He's stepped up. There are games there are multiple games the Nuggets don't win if he's not showing up in the fourth quarter scoring points, which is strange to think about. Like, you've got this 6'11" goofy ass kid, 25-year-old, 26 now, who is smooth as hell, dude. He's so smooth. And he just shows up when he needs to. And what's cool about the Nuggs, and I was alluding to this earlier, is they've got two guys now. They've got Yoke and they've got Murray, who are both willing to sort of step up when it really, really, really matters. Not necessarily when it really matters, right? But when it escalates to a point where it really matters, you got two dudes who will run a pick and roll in a two-man game that are kind of unstoppable. I will take that two-man game over any other two-man game in the NBA. Someone tell me a better two-man game in the NBA, please. Please. I'm asking you guys.
I don't think I have one, but to kind of go off on your thing about Jokic for MVP, I totally agree with you that he belongs there. The numbers he's putting up, he has more points than LeBron James, more rebounds than LeBron James. LeBron James has more assists. He averages the same rebounds as Embiid. Here's the thing, and Dan Patrick said this week, and I'm a big Dan Patrick guy. He said Jokic's season and the numbers he's putting up is ridiculous, but nobody cares because he's not in a big market. And that's what's going to hurt him.
That's bullshit, though. And screw you, Dan Patrick, for saying that, by the way.
That's keeping real.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, he's being real, man. Who's gonna
No. 1 second. Who's
going to win the MVP, Dave? It's not going to be Jokic with the greatest season in Denver history.
No, when a big market dude like Dan Patrick, who has this whole audience in a big market, says something like that, he's perpetuating the evil. And come on, dude. If you think that if you think that Jokic is the MVP, why don't you, with a platform, come out and say it? Instead, you're saying, and I didn't listen to what you were just commenting on, Tim, but instead of coming out and saying, hey, Jokic is the MVP, I don't care that he plays in Denver. Instead, he's saying Jokic can't be the MVP because he plays in Denver. And that's big market perpetuating itself. And I know you love Dan Patrick, but that's not cool, man.
He doesn't get to vote for it, for one. He doesn't get to vote for it. And two, he was just saying based on the media and the people who do vote for it, they're going to vote big market.
He's talking about the mothership.
He's talking about the people who actually vote for MVP, and they're going to vote for a big market. They're not going to vote. They're going to vote for. They're not going to vote based off who had the best season. They're going to vote off of.
Did he say that Jokic should be the MVP?
He said he should be in contention.
There you have it. There you have it.
The big market thing's kind of silly to me because what about Giannis? Giannis doesn't play in a big market.
No. He plays in a little crappy ass Wisconsin market.
Let's be honest about
have you ever been to Milwaukee?
Go ahead, Tim. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, have you ever been to Milwaukee?
Milwaukee? No.
No.
Milwaukee. I love that movie, by the way. I love.
Go ahead.
I'm
sorry, I interrupted you.
But what I was trying to get at is let's be honest about the MVP bias with Jokic. It's because he just plays the game differently. He's not athletic in a lot of ways, and what I mean by that is he's not in any means like a LeBron James or a Giannis Antetokounmpo in how he plays the game. He is calculated. He is smart. He is crafty. He is smooth. Like he's so smooth. I don't know. He's not flashy. Like and everybody, like people are talking to how Dame Lillard and James Harden should be ahead of him in the MVP conversation, and it's because of how they play. I mean, if you're going to say that, then Murray should be up there eventually too. Like it's because of these guards who handle the ball and shoot these huge shots and take these ridiculous deep threes. It's because for Americans, some people don't think he's fun to watch. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, don't.
You go, Tim.
Sorry. I was just going to say, don't forget what James Harden did in Houston before he was traded. Like, the MVP is based on an entire season. Yeah. And that dude was a little bitch before he was traded. He complained and cried.
Yeah, James Harden's out of the MVP conversation in my mind. I'd rather have Kyrie win that. Here's my thing.
Kyrie doesn't even deserve it, man.
Whatever, dude. I agree. But like, if you're talking usage rate, are you talking usage rate? Because who brings the ball up more than Nikola Jokic? Who plays more minutes than Nikola Jokic? Who has just brought their team half a game behind the third seed in the Clippers, which we all know the Nuggets are not too scared of? Nikola Jokic, like, how is this an argument still? I don't get it. You're taking a team that should not be where they are, and you have two dudes. You have two dudes. Who else is filling in? Maybe Michael Porter Jr., maybe this third-year guy who's kind of up and coming, and he shoots the ball really well, but he's a giant asshole. Maybe he's your third dude. I don't know. But, like who's your third dude? You don't really have one. It's Jokic and Murray, and Jokic.
Another dude.
I'm just a dude trying to play another dude. And Jokic is the guy. He's the one who makes it all kind of click, clank, clankety clank. We're in an electric vehicle age, so there's no oiling on the engine anymore, but he definitely provides the electricity. So, yeah, take that.
No, the thing is he deserves it. He's just not getting the love of some of the big market people, man.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Dude, this was a timeout with everybody for like the last 15 minutes. I'm proud of us.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on. We all agree Jokic should be the MVP.
Yeah, Jokic for MVP.
It was great, really pissing off my brother from the 70s.
You guys have other things to talk about tonight?
Well, I would like to talk about the Hornets win.
Yeah.
All right. It was a good win.
NBA's game, baby.
And we can get, like, this will lead back to Jokic being the MVP. I mean, we just got to discuss some things, man.
Okay.
You were pretty fired up, Dave. I think we need to move on and come back when you've goose-a-frapa'd a little.
Yeah, you guys got me all worked up. What were you guys doing tonight, man?
We were just, I was playing off of Will's body language early on, like when you were saying something and like he was disagreeing with you. I was like, "Ooh," Will's like, "Ooh," and I felt like, let's get Dave fired up.
Will,
Hornets.
I like your beard.
It's coming in. I don't know. I still have some room.
When's the voting? Because I saw a guy who works for the city today already with like a giant beard.
It's June. I probably won't win, but I don't know. I'm just going to grow it out a little bit.
Start growing it now, or is it like you already have a giant beard?
Oh no, the competition has started, and whoever has the beard is already winning. So
it's not like
the forestry people are probably already beating me.
It's not like let's start a beard growing contest, and whoever grows from a clean face to here.
Yeah,
because the dude I saw today, like already like. I don't know if he's in it, but Hornets. Let's talk Hornets. I just can't wait to see Will with a big bushy beard.
Yeah, and last comment, Will, on your beard is go to Beards and Brews. Tim? Yeah. What's it called?
Oh, my barbershop?
Yeah. Blades and Brews.
Blades and Brews, man.
Yeah, that's where Matt Foster gets his done, and they do it upright. So if you can grow it out, like they'll make it look good.
Oh, I won't even touch Matt Foster's beard, dude. That thing is amazing.
Well,
but I hear you. I will go to Blades and Bruce.
Hey, Will, you get a free beer out of it.
That's fucking right.
I guess free. I mean, you're paying for a haircut and they give you a beer. So, I mean, I don't know.
So, yeah, you're paying for a $25 haircut. At least they can give me a $2 beer.
No, not a $2 beer.
Dude, they legitimately give you beer, man.
Yeah, like good beer, man.
They typically have like Cerebus and Goat Patch, man.
Okay.
They get kegs from like local breweries and sometimes they get their hands on seasonal shit. They do the beer.
I just think it's funny that I'm trying to grow a beard when the summer is coming and it's gonna get fucking hot. And
you know what? This might be the coldest summer on history, Will, and you'll be happy.
All right, Hornets. Charlotte Hornets.
Tonight's broadcast, by the way, is brought to you by Blades off of Colorado, next to 503W. You guys gotta go.
Drinking an epic day. Are you guys drinking anything? Are you?
Yeah, I sure am.
Soaking it up tonight.
Do you want the story behind the beer I'm drinking? I feel like it needs to happen.
Ooh. Sure.
Tell the story.
I'm drinking Sunrise Sensei. And our good friend who is in our bracket with us, Chris Byswinger, was good friends with me.
Is that the
That's that black IPA.
Yeah, it's the black IPA. And good friends with the brewer Jason, who has since passed on a hike last year. And you guys can check out any sort of NPR report or anything like that. But I guess one love. I once drank some tequila with this dude, so there's a part of me that mourns. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Everybody mourns when a good human's lost.
Exactly.
Good humans are hard to find.
They are, dude. They really are.
Like, genuinely good humans are hard to find. So when you find them, hold on to them. You guys.
You guys. And it's a delicious beer. And there's been multiple beers made in his honor, but Sunrise Sensei seems to be the one that works best. Denver Brewing Company, that's where he brewed. And one love, right? One love.
One love. I thank you for sharing, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Third Window Brewing Company, Second Son. My brother, David, went on a beer run for me when I was crippled and could not drive. But now I can drive and I can walk when I'm in a boot. So things are looking up for this guy. 2 thumbs.
Double thumbs up. Will, what are you drinking?
Very nice.
I'm drinking Epic Day because it's been an epic day.
Nice.
Epic Day Double Indian Pale Ale from Eddie Line.
Never heard of it.
You're a liar.
Is it the grapefruit edition?
Nope, that's the Crank Anchor.
Hey, Will, are all your kids asleep?
Sure are.
Did you do it all on your own tonight?
No. Sabrina typically puts down Rowan lately because he's easy to put down now, and Theo is more needy. So I get the hard one.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right. I don't know what that means.
She's not getting the hard one tonight.
Yeah, okay. We don't need to go into it, Will.
You're the one who said it, dude.
No, that's not what I said. That's what she said.
You can discreetly buy pills for that now, Will. Like, you don't have to go to your doctor's office. You can, like a little box arrives.
What are you talking about, homie?
I don't know. Hymns.
Moving on.
This Bros and Nuggs episode is brought to you by Hymns.
You listen to sports talk radio, you hear these commercials, guys.
I hear
Timmy,
you. Charlotte Hornets, maybe. Just a thought.
Okay, all right, let's do
What's
it.
your question, Dave? What's your question?
I've forgotten. I really have forgotten. Charlotte Hornets. Let's do it. Let's start with Tim.
Okay. Skimming my notes. Zeke Najee's block to end the first quarter was freaking awesome.
Can we take a time out there for a second?
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this in tonight's game. Zeke Najee stepped up big time. When everyone else was playing like shit, he like actually showed up and like tried hard. It was cool to see. All right, continue.
Zeke's going to be a good one for us.
I
It's really
agree.
exciting to watch him play. And I have the note that we need more Jokic. Jokic, this was another game he started slow. The dude finished with a triple-double, but he started slow, and I was like, we need more Jokic. I got really fired up when Zeke had that block at the end of the first quarter. I was like, okay, here we go. We were not shooting the three well. To me, like when we finally got up by 20, it was the closest game when you're up by 20. Like you feel like the game is so close, but you're up by 20. Like I had that feeling like halfway through the third quarter. I was like, I finally looked at the score and I was like, oh shit, we're up by 20. I was like, this game felt so close for so long. I have a couple of big takeaways. We need to attack. We need to start attacking and work our way out. I've said that several times. Facu had a career high 10 assists. Facu, I love Facu. Facu, I love you, man. He had 10 assists. Hell yeah, that's his NBA career high. And the other thing I took away is, and it pisses me off, and it's because they're trying to make him another star, is that fucking LaMelo Ball. I will not call him Melo. There's only one Melo in the NBA, and that's Carmelo. LaMelo is already getting bullshit, soft, ticky-tacky calls that our MVP candidate, Jokic, can't get, nor can Murray. And I think that is my biggest takeaway from the Hornets game. And I think it's bullshit. The dude's 19 years old, hasn't proven himself, hasn't overcome anything. He's just started on the bench, and now he's starting. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying the dude's not talented. He's probably the best of all the Paul brothers. But I can't stand the fact that dude at 19 is getting calls, and our superstars don't get shit. My biggest takeaway.
Time out with Tim. I appreciate that. And also, I agree with you. The Ball brothers are so overrated, man. So overrated. And
like the broadside of a barn from outside.
Yeah. I don't understand it. People really like them. And I know that we have listeners. I'm talking about you, Chris Bayswinger, who love the Balls. But I don't get it.
Love balls.
I don't really get why everyone thinks they're good.
I don't know. They just look dumb. They look lost. They just, like, you look at them and you go, that is not a smart man. He may be talented when it comes to basketball, but I don't think it's all there. Like,
I don't think that's a fair comment, Tim.
I do. Look at a picture of LaMelo Ball, Dave, and tell me different.
Yeah. No, MPJ also looks dumb, but he's also, like, doing a great job most of the time. And
MPJ is dumb.
Hold on.
But he's our dumb.
We all need a dumb, and I happily accept that role in every profession I'm a part of. I happily accept the role of dumb. So just so everyone knows, we're not talking like incredible shit here, but I happily accept that role. I will say a lot of people think MPJ, a lot of girls, I shall say, think that he's an attractive dude. So while you see dumb, they see beauty. Will?
They see dollar bills, y'all. They see money.
Will?
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry, all I heard was Tim going, dollar bills, y'all. Money. This was the MPJ game, man. Like I know we've been dogging on him a little bit, but defensively he played well in this game. He actually played good help defense and rebounded really well. And then I like that he's not, unlike tonight, not forcing the transition three in this game. He made good passes to Jokic when he was wide open on a mismatch, dumped it in. And then a couple times where Charlotte was really determined to run him off the three-point line early, and he made good decisions, whether it was a pass out of it or a pump fake into a jump shot into the mid-range, and he was knocking down those shots. That's the nice thing about why MPJ has been successful lately is him and Jokic are getting some consistency and some chemistry in regards with the dribble handoffs, like he's used with Murray and Harris in the past. And that's an easy bucket, man. And we saw it tonight too. These dribble handoffs that create space for MPJ to make a mid-range jump shot because he's just money. I will say this also is that the second unit brought energy, rebounding, and defense that we needed because we did have another slow start. I was worried about Jokic, like Tim stated. I didn't feel like Charlotte had anybody who could even touch him, and I'm like, why isn't he scoring as much? But he was really a facilitator this game and was dropping dimes early. And Facu again, man. Facu on these times where we start slow and we need defense, he's been bringing it, man. When we haven't been defending the three well and just no energy and just kind of come out sluggish, he changes the whole complexion of the game for our whole team. And he did that again the night against Charlotte. I will say one thing that annoyed me is Marlowe was in love with Terry Rozier, called him a dynamic scorer. I was like, Terry Rozier is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Terry Rozier is a good player. But like Marlowe was in love with him. He's like, oh man, he's so good. Oh, Terry Rozier, dynamic scorer. I was like, what are you talking about, Marlowe? But I guess he's one of their best players. So I don't know.
Great
commentator. Has some weird love interests with some of these other players, and I'm like, I don't get why you like him so much, man.
Well, great commentators.
National ticket.
Yeah, great commentators can see things that none of us can, which is why I consider myself a great commentator. Tommy Hammonds is one of the best Nuggets ever, and no one else ever saw that. And I guess it was just me.
I just don't think Terry Rozier is a dynamic scorer.
Yeah. Well,
like
maybe
I don't
part
look
of
at
it,
Terry Rozier as like you gotta send two at him. You can't let him do his thing.
Maybe part of it is that you don't know what a dynamic scorer is.
There was a moment when we were up by 30 where we got relaxed, and I felt like Rozier kind of got some extra points there when we were up by 30 and kind of got complacent. So I don't know. We all know Marlowe's dumb want gum. Night at the museum, nobody. Okay, thank you.
No, Night at the Museum. Number 1 or number 2?
First one. Dumb want gum when he's got the big head from. But I digress. I hope Jeremy Heiberger's still with us, Born.
He may be. All right, guys. What do you think of the game before that?
The Pacers game?
That's it. The Pacers
game?
I'll jump off. I thought Will Barton started off really hot. I mean, he scored our first 8 points. I was really worried that Yoke hurt his groin. Like he limped off the field, like grabbed his groinal area. and limped for a few minutes, and I was like, oh shit. But obviously that was not part of the problem. Our second unit struggled. Green came in that second quarter and hit some good shots and was like starting to bring us into it. It was a very frustrating game. And then we went on a 22-2 run to start the fourth quarter. And that's where you saw us play well. And I credit that to Paul Millsap, Will Barton, Faku, MPJ, and Dozier, because that's the group that started our fourth quarter. And that was the people that started our 22-2 run. Like, I thought we were going to lose this game. I was like, oh, shit, we're going to go 0-2 at home. And then that group came in and played that start of that fourth quarter, and they really just set the tone for the fourth quarter. And it was great to see that group right there just owns. They're the ones that, like, took it from, like, a close nail-biter game and were able to separate us from the Pacers. And they were hustling on defense. They were hustling on offense. They were Faku was getting steals and getting assists like crazy. And it was just they played team basketball, and they played with passion, and they played with heart. And it was fun to watch. Like, the first three quarters, just forget about them. That fourth quarter was Nuggets basketball. You know, it was Nuggets basketball at its finest. You had a couple of starters, you had a couple of bench players, and it just showed the cohesiveness that we have within our organization and our players to be able to have, you know, some bench players playing with starters that can go on, that can start the 22-2 run that led us to victory. And I thought, you know, there were a lot of points where it was frustrating. But that fourth quarter, man, both ends we were playing well. We were playing unselfish basketball. We were sharing the ball. It was all about that fourth quarter for me. It was so exciting. The way
Will and Tim, we've lived through Nuggets lows, the lowest of lows, and Nuggets highs, I guess as high as we've ever been, right? Is it a treasure or a trove that I don't know what that means, but we'll just roll with it. Is it a treasure or a trove that we can turn things on in the fourth quarter to win games?
I think it's stressful and fun at the same time, but you can't take it for granted. The Nuggets have been like this for the last 2-3 years, man, but sometimes you can't turn it around. Like, you're losing to teams you shouldn't lose to. And it's even happened this year. You're like, how are you losing? How'd you lose to that team? And so you shouldn't take it for granted. And when we talk about the team like this, we talk about Murray. It's, you know, when we were losing early, Murray had 3 points in the first half. Like, Murray is and it's your favorite word, Dave, a microcosm of the Denver Nuggets season. And it is. You're right, though. The nice thing is I mean, let's look at it. Like, let's go back to the bubble when we were playing Utah in the first 4 games of that series. Everybody thought, like, we're like, damn, we're gonna get fucking smoked by the Jazz. Let's get series over. They didn't come to play. What the hell? This isn't the Nuggets I came to expect. And then, holy crap, Murray and Jokic turned it on, and I don't know. It live by the sword, die by the sword. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when you watch other NBA teams, like, you just wish that they were. I mean, if you pay attention to scores, which we have to as great journalists of the Denver Nuggets, you see, like, the Lakers might be behind in the second quarter, but by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, they're up by 15. You know, it doesn't always happen.
NBA loves LeBron.
But you would hope that the Nuggets would have made that leap to we're going to not make this so chaotic all the time, you know? But that being said, what have we won? Like 7 of the last 8 games, 6 of the last 7. Where are we now? 7 of the last 8, I think.
Yeah, and we're actually half game out of the 3 spot now.
We're half game out of the 3 spot, and this was the stretch. We were like, "Hey, take advantage, man. Take advantage," and they have done that. So, I guess, what do you really want out of them? And what I beg out of them, as I'm sure what every real Nuggets fan or Coach Malone in particular wants out of them, is the best all the time. And we just don't get that. And it makes it hard. Like, I thought we were going to lose to Chicago tonight. Honestly, I thought we were going to lose to Chicago. Like, I was like, damn it, you're going to give away this game. And now you had to work extra hard to get back in it. And now you have to go to overtime to try to win it, right? Like,
now you got to overplay Jokic.
Yeah, when you could have just played hard from the beginning. And they didn't. They didn't do that. But maybe that's because they knew they were playing Chicago. And they knew that if they stepped their game up and just stayed around, like they could step their game up halfway through the fourth. And that's a little bit of cockiness. Like, we're that good. We're that good. You know what I mean? And that's what scares me about them, is like they might think they're that good, that they don't have to play hard all the time. And if you watched the tourney today at all, you saw college basketball players, win or lose, working their asses off to try to win. Like, they played so hard, all of them. Like, if you watched any of the tourney, every single team is playing hard they're just going balls to the wall. And it makes it so hard to then turn on the Nuggets as they watch Chicago just sort of take advantage of them.
Good point, man.
It made it so difficult, dude. And then all of a sudden, with like half a quarter left in the fourth, we were like, oh, we can play like that. We can play balls to the wall. We can play fast. We can do these things, and we can shoot lights out. That's not a game. It's not a game I like to play. Like,
not a game. Not a game.
It's not a game.
Practice.
It's a game I love.
I'd rather see it all the time, instead of like halfway through the fourth, now we're going to play hard. But I guess it's the NBA. You play 82 games. You can't play hard all the time, can you? Whereas it's the NCAA tournament, and it's do or die, where you have to just go ham. So I guess I get that dynamic.
The majority of those NCAA players, that's their career.
Yeah.
Like, you have your 1% that leaves college basketball and goes on and plays in the NBA, but that's like, or 2%, whatever the statistic is, it's something like that. But you have 98%, 97% of those players that don't go on and play at the next level. Mm-hmm. So they're legitimately leaving it out there on the court. Yeah. And I think you lose that in the NBA because you're starting to see dollars and you're starting to get paid.
Well, and you have to play 82 games or 72 this year, right? It's got to be a different dynamic. I don't know. I'm happy with where the Nuggets are right now, though, for real. Do you guys have do you guys have a good feeling, bad feeling about where we are?
It feels good. I want to talk a little bit more about this Pacers game, though, real quick. Before we move on, I don't have a lot, but I texted this to Tim when it happened because it was hilarious. Dave, you watched the Pacers game on altitude too, yeah? Did you guys hear the argument between Marlowe and Hastings during the clear path foul?
Yes.
It was hilarious.
You said married couple, and I had thought that, but then you texted it, and I was like, hell yeah.
Like Scott Hastings said, it should have been a foul, but meant it shouldn't have been a foul. And then Chris Marlowe called him out. And then Scott was like, no, I didn't say that. And then they were arguing for like a good minute and a half. And I don't know. Like, I know I'm not explaining it well enough for our Bros and Nuggs listeners if you weren't watching that game. But if you were, during that McConnell foul on Barton for that clear path foul, you were thoroughly entertained.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious. They were arguing like an old married couple, dude. It was great.
Oh,
You
man.
can just tell, like Scott, like, and I feel the same way. Like I'm 100% agree with Scott Hastings. It's just Marlowe's fucking annoying, and he's just like, "Shut up, Marlowe." You know, he just wants to say like, "Shut up, Chris. Shut your mouth."
At one point,
You puny little skier.
Volleyball player.
At one point, Hastings goes, "You're not hearing what I'm saying."
Yeah.
And that is totally something anybody who's been in an argument with a significant other has either been told or has said. And so Will's comment of them being an old married couple was just, I found it quite comical.
I usually just cave in and I'm like, you're right. I don't hear what you're saying. I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'm so sorry.
The Nuggets were on. So talking. There was 20 seconds left. We were about to go to overtime. You were talking to me.
I love you guys, by the way. Just so you know.
Dave, are you going for the Ted Lasso look right now?
I'm going to shave this off tomorrow morning if I have time. I might keep it, though. We'll see. Liz does not like it. It's been well documented. So by next Bros on Nuggs, which is next Saturday or Sunday, this might be gone, maybe.
That's unfortunate.
Jimmy's clean shaven too.
I really like your stat. Yes, I lost the battle with my wife. I will grow it back. It most definitely will come back. Because I'm close to that gunslinger mustache that I really, really want in my life.
No.
I have the wax. I have the comb. I'm all in.
Oh, Tim, you can grow it when you want to. You got it, dude.
Well,
Will, what's your favorite? Where are you in Ted Lasso? What episode?
I'm on episode 8.
Oh, you're almost done. Okay.
It's a great show. Got to watch it. You're right, Dave. Any coach, anybody who wants to coach, who cares about coaching, should watch Ted Lasso.
Little side note on Ted Lasso. Do you know where he got the character?
No.
He developed it, and I read this actually last week. He developed it from his high school basketball coach.
Who was just overly optimistic?
Yep. Just a dude he was in his early 30s, took over his high school team, and was just super optimistic, gave a quote at every – like we used to do, put quotes on the board, like – that's where he got the idea.
I love the suggestion box.
Yep.
Here's a hoping one of our athletes goes on and makes fun of us.
They already mock us, just not publicly.
I will say my favorite part of Ted Lasso is when he's talking to the reporter and he goes, "You don't care about wins and losses?" He's like, coaching isn't about wins and losses.
Yeah.
It's about making your players the best people they can be on and off the field.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love that. I love that quote.
Yeah. What an idealistic quote.
Yes. Idealistic indeed, but he nails it.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of his quotes nail it. But only in the way that Hollywood could do.
Exactly.
Well, that's coaching, though. That's coaching.
It is.
At a non-professional level, that's coaching is trying to make your players the best they can be on and off the court. So that's a great quote.
And then that's the thing is how he takes it. Even though he's in a professional level, nothing's too serious. He doesn't take it too serious, which is interesting.
I personally think I've never seen this show, but I think I would enjoy it because at one point in the previews that I've seen, he looks at the official and goes, "That's offsides." Like, no, seriously, explain it to me. That's offsides.
Yeah.
So
it'll help you understand soccer better, Tim. It will.
That's where I am with soccer, and so I feel like maybe I could benefit from watching it at some point.
The only thing that sorry, bro. The only thing that irritates me about the show is it is based off of those commercials he used to do for NBCSN when he was a Tottenham coach. And I'm an Arsenal fan, and Tottenham can go screw themselves. And way to be eliminated, Spurs, from the Europa League after being up 2-0. And then a week after losing to the Gunners, screw you, Spurs, get out of town. But Ted Lasso's awesome. Should we?
Get your Ted Lasso mustache.
Thank you. I'm working on it. Okay. Well, we've done a great job tonight. Is there any last words we should all say before next week?
Go ahead, Timmy.
Dave, enjoy your trip.
Oh, thank you.
Get some good pictures of some whales. I love a good whale watching trip, as we discussed earlier today. William, I hope I see you soon, my brother. Go Nuggets.
Will, have you seen the baby yet?
No. Hopefully you get to see Dot here soon.
Well, it sounds like this is the week.
You've seen her through the window, right?
That doesn't work, bro. She's a little baby. She's
maybe Tim and I can work something out tomorrow. I got to take Theo to basketball practice tomorrow morning, so maybe I can do something after basketball practice.
We're to the point now where we're ready. Pandemic, no pandemic, we're ready finally. So
cool, man.
We'll make it happen.
Is Theo dunking? What's the hoop size?
Oh, it's like a 7-foot, 6-foot rim or something like that.
So like the rims at bitch ass Columbine, yeah, because the rims at Gateway were higher, and you guys lowered the rims to make you feel better.
They've
Nice
both
slide.
Nice. Drunk on all of them.
Well done.
I'm just saying Columbine was full of a bunch of bitch asses, and we Gateway was where it was at, just so you know.
I'm just going to say I still to this day don't know if the rubber burn or the carpet burn was worse.
Right. What's worse?
Right? Oh, the rubber I don't know, man.
Like,
the rubber burn is really, really bad.
Like Columbine doesn't have carpet, and you're like, okay, that's great. And you get over there, and you're like, that rubber burn kind of feels like a carpet burn. I mean, like they both hurt.
They both hurt a lot.
They both sting. Like I don't know who's winning on that one.
Dude,
He nailed it, man. He nailed it.
It's so true. Officiating 4th and 5th grade basketball. Oh, Heiberger. Of course, the Columbine kid's going to show up here. All right. Screw you, Jeremy.
Shut up, worm.
Yeah, Jeremy. Thanks, brother. Need some Columbine support.
We are Columbine.
We are Columbine.
Get out of here.
Quick. We all know the athletes came from Gateway and the chicks came from Columbine.
We also all know that Columbine is where the bougie ass people lived. Gateway was hardcore, man. Hardcore.
Bougie ass people lived.
We had to piss in tires.
We had to pee in tires on playground time.
Exactly, dude. Y'all got a great playground with multiple.
They did smell like urine. They did smell like urine.
That was your potty break during playtime.
Yeah, exactly. It was like an initiation. If you hadn't peed in those tires, you hadn't gone to that school. It was like a real deal. Like kids would line up outside and be like, have you peed in these tires yet?
No.
Hey man, you got the play park because you got the grant because they felt bad for you.
Actually, our mother worked on that.
Yeah, thanks
That's
a
why
lot.
we got it.
Personal.
She did that. She was a huge part of that.
Yeah,
people from Columbine were like, why do you guys get it? And my mom was like, it was my idea, and I came to everybody with it. So Susie Graff, you can thank for the play park.
That is still there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one. She actually traveled around Colorado and took pictures of other play parks. Yeah,
and took it to the school board.
This is what we're doing.
And fun fact is Matt Miller and I both went missing from the child care facility during the building because we were like, screw this. Matt was like, yes, Matt. I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Matt. Was like, dude, we gotta get out of here because we were like in the playroom with like the military guys who were like watching us because like the Colorado National Guard helped out building it. And I'm pretty sure it was Matt. It was, if not, it was one of your other friends. It's like, we got to get out of here. And so, like, the guy left the room for a minute, and we ran out the door. And then they stopped. They halted everything until they could find us.
Wow.
And we were just running around we were trying to run from anybody and everybody because we didn't want to get caught because we didn't want to get in trouble. So, yes, we in our own tiny people shenanigans halted the building of that playground for a while. Like they thought they had lost children.
That could not have been Miller. It must have been like Steve
That's
Hackworth
great.
or Scott D.
Was it?
That's great.
It was one of your friends, man.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I always contributed Matt Miller, so maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Heck.
It was one of your friends, and they're like, Tim, we gotta get out of here. And I was like, okay. I'll follow you.
Is there a better playground than the play park in Woodland Park? Would you like to comment, anyone from Columbine?
No, it's not. No. That was the coolest thing that happened in a long time for kids.
Yeah, it was. How sad is that? We got a wooden playground, dude. Like, how sad is that? The kids today are still like, what do we do? What do we do? God, Woodland Park is such a...
Does it have TVs?
Right?
Does it have YouTube?
Oh, an interactive play park would be cool.
I remember when they cut the cord and like all us kids were running in. This is a bad story. I apologize. I already chuckled, but like they cut the cord and a bunch of kids were running in, and I was one of them. And this kid fell down, and like kids kept running, and I like turned and looked at him, and I laughed, and then kept running. Like all the other kids just kept running. And like I turned like, and like in your mind you're like, that kid's gonna help that kid up. And I just turned and looked at him. I fucking laughed at the kid as he's getting trampled. And just turned and kept running.
Hey man, I get to go play.
Yeah.
Oh, but fuck you, man.
Play
Stand
park's
on your
open,
feet,
man.
bro.
I
Dragon
remember
slide.
that. That's what's
Dragon
crazy.
slide, dude. Dragon slide.
I have that memory, and then I have the memory where like you used to get in trouble for jumping the fence. Like you had to walk all the way around and go through the actual entrance. Then like if you caught jumping the fence, you had to sit a bench. I had to sit the bench all the time. I was like, lady, listen, I'm not gonna walk around to go down the dragon slide. The dragon slide's right there. There's a fence right here that I can jump.
I'm gonna jump it.
I jumped the fence, and
That was a point of contention. I don't know how it happened, but jumping the fence was a big point of contention. I didn't understand that.
The playground ladies didn't like it.
No.
My one last one from elementary school. My last recess, I got put on the bench 4 different times by 4 different playground ladies. Because like they'd put you on the bench and walk away, and I'd wait for them to walk away, and I'd just get up and walk off. I was a model elementary school student.
Hey man, it's all good. We realize Gateway's better than Columbine, and sorry, Will. That's just the way it goes.
To each his own.
All my friends, however, I must admit, after 6th grade, all my friends were Columbine kids. Heiberger, Miller, Kenner, Kyle, you name it. They were all Columbine kids. I married a Columbine kid. So what do you do?
It goes back to Columbine had the girls, and Gateway had the athletes, Dave.
It's true, man. It's true. We won championships, man. Columbine kids just jumped on our shoulders.
Okay.
I love you guys. Hey, I do have to go to bed, though. I do.
Me too. My wife's going to kill me.
Hey, we'll do Bros on Nuggs on Saturday night or Sunday of next week. Is that cool with you guys?
Sounds good, man.
I would think Sunday after you get back, man.
Can we all get together for this next one?
If you do it on Sunday, I think so. Yeah.
Sunday? Will?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
He's making no commitments, but we will continue to work on him.
Yeah, dude. We'll make it work.
That's still not a commitment, but I like it.
Yes, I said yes.
When in there is, I'll make it work. Where's the yes in that, Will?
He just said yes. He said yes. He said yes.
I know.
Hey, she said yes. I said wow. She said win. I said now, right now, love, can't wait. And I asked if she believed in fate. She said, yeah.
I love
I
you,
love that
country.
Okay. Love you guys. I'll see you in a week.
Cheers.
Deuces.
Safe travels.
Cheers.
Thank you, Heiberger. Thank you, Stratton. Love you guys.
Sorry, Lucas.
Yeah. Damn. That's a rough
Sorry,
one.
Dr. Lucas.